Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here today. My name is Betsy Oji-Ofoegbu. I'm a chartered accountant in Canada, and also have some experience, right? So I've been an accountant now for about 8 years of my life. Kind of started my career with a smaller size accounting firm, and of course progressed to work with the big four, and now I'm in industry. So yeah, I kind of think I have some experience and I want to share that with you guys. So if you're interested in that kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be churning out a lot of accounting content. I want to help as many accounting graduates as possible to make some kind of informed decision in their career path. Yeah, a lot of people graduate accounting and are not entirely sure what next to do. And yeah, so now I have all of that experience and I can at least give you some form of balanced view on what to expect. Today, we'll be talking about what choices are available to you. Perhaps you just graduated accounting and you're not sure, an accounting grad, smart, straight out of school, probably about to start your CPA, your ICAN, your ACCA, endless certifications, right? Yeah, so what exactly am I supposed to do? I'm bringing today my experience and I'm going to walk you guys through a couple of choices that are available to you as an accounting graduate. So yeah, keep watching this video. Please hit like, hit subscribe, and let's get right into it. Okay, yeah, so what are the choices available to you as a graduate of accounting? Okay, the first option available to you is to work as a public sector accountant. Yes, guys, I'm starting with that because it's not something that is common for a lot of people to have as their immediate goal once they graduate school. But it's a very huge, sector, right? Public sector, that's the government, like working for the government of any country that you belong to. It's the most guaranteed one, like you are sure that your country has a government and every single government office earns some kind of revenue, right? And all of them need somebody to account for them. So yeah, so that's like one huge career option that I do not want you to sleep on. You could be hired as a graduate accountant straight out of school, and that's one option available to you. So yeah, so let's move on to the next option, which is usually like the most, I guess that's the one that employs like a wider variety of accountants straight out of university. This will be what we call consulting. Yes, guys, I know you guys may have been waiting, like, when is she going to talk about it? Okay, yeah, so let's go into consulting. Consulting means more or less like what it is, right? You heard the term consulting. What does that just literally mean? It means, of course, showing up every day to provide some form of advice to someone else. That's really what it is, right? So yeah, so you're talking big four consulting, you're talking like, internal consulting, you're talking external consulting. Most of the time when you're a consultant, you would likely be giving some kind of advisory services to people that are not in your company. So yes, so what are those companies called? They are what we call the big four firms. There are also companies we can refer to as mid-tier, and then you have the really smaller size consulting firms. So yeah, so a Betsy, for instance, can open her own accounting company called maybe a Betsy Oji CPA or whatever it is. I could have my own little consulting firm. You could also have obviously like the EYs, the Deloitte, PwCs, KPMGs of the world. Those are like the big four, right? You also have like BDO, you have RSM, you have Thorton, you have like several accounting firms that are considered like mid-tier firms, and then of course you have like several other consulting firms that are more like accounting, smaller size companies. Just think of how you have like really large chain stores and then you have like little grocery stores on your streets. Those people also sell stuff that the big guys sell. The big guys just have much more variety of services that they offer. So yeah, so think of a Walmart versus like an ABC Co on your street, something like that. Yeah, so that's what it is. So consulting opportunities are very largely available to accounting graduates because straight out of school, these guys are like literally coming to your school to do like campus rounds. That's, for instance, if you're in Canada or in the US, that's very common in these two countries. Back in Nigeria, they may not come to your school, but right out of school, you can literally start applying for these roles, showing up for their interview stages, and before you know, you get a role. So yeah, so that's very common, very, very common, like even in India, in the UK, obviously, very common as well. So yeah, so those are options that are available to you. I'm not going in depth as to what kind of roles you can do, but I can list a couple of them off the top of my head. You can be an auditor in a consulting firm, you can do some tax work, you can do risk assurance services like IT risk and all of that. You can do within a consulting firm. You can also do advisory services, like literally you being an internal advisory consultant to an external client. You can also be a management consultant within these consulting firms. And then there are also some consulting firms that are not even like accounting specific, but like a BCG, for instance, like management consulting firms. Those guys, you can literally go work for them and not do core accounting, but yeah, that's still something that's available to you as an accounting graduate. So yeah, so all of these options are available and I'm excitedly listing them because, guys, do not sleep on them. Like, you literally should not graduate accounting and not be sure of what to do. Like, there are jobs available for you. You just need to have the right information, which is what I bring to you today, guys. Do not forget to click subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, guys, let's continue. What other jobs are available to you as an accounting grad? Another career choice that is available to accountants would be let's say internal consulting. Where I don't want to merge this with the management consulting that I have spoken about earlier, and like audit, tax and all of that, is because for internal consultants, they are kind of, you can refer to them like, say, internal auditors that are like within any company that they work for, but they are like, you know, reporting to the board of that company that they are included in. So yeah, so it's kind of a bit different as how an external auditor would report. So the nature of the reporting is like usually what the main difference is for, you know, someone who is an external auditor versus an internal auditor, and of course their level of independence, yeah, all of that. So yeah, so but it's still a job available to you. So internal audits, internal audit jobs are available to you. There's several jobs available to you. You can go on job websites and like literally filter down for internal audit roles and start to apply. However, for internal audits, most times they want some level of experience. It might not be suited for a direct graduate who's just like literally straight out of the university. You might struggle a bit because internal audit comes with that extra level of discipline and understanding of exactly what goes on in the company itself before you kind of begin to audit the company. Does that make sense? Yeah, so you might want to start as an analyst even within that company and even kind of understand the reporting around the company before you maybe change department to an internal audit role. So an accounting grad can also work in industry. So when we say industry, what do we refer to as industry? Think all the producers that you know. For instance, you're an accounting graduate. At some point in your financial accounting, I'm pretty sure you have had to deal with like fictitious companies, and then they'll be like ABC Limited prepares its financial reports for the periods year ended, blah blah blah, prepare a financial statement, prepare a profit and loss account for ABC Limited. Now, what is ABC Limited in that question? ABC Limited is a company in one industry or the other. So for the example, it might be a manufacturing company. They might give you some inventory, give you whatever, determine the cost of sales, determine gross profit and all of that. Yeah, so that, what exactly is that? That's a manufacturing company in an industry. Several companies exist in the pharmaceutical industry, you know, retail stores, or what we call like more or less like chain stores, like large conglomerate chain stores are available to you. Fast moving consumer goods companies. You have energy companies. I mean, you have financial services companies like banks, you know, insurance companies, name them, right? Like a lot. Everybody needs an accountant, which is why your job is so like, you so guaranteed. Like, you, I mean, except if you're not good at accounting, but if you really know what you studied, you shouldn't struggle to find a job, right? Yeah, so because everybody needs an accountant, money, like somebody has to account for those monies that are being made in these companies. So yeah, so industry roles exist for accountants, and typically you could find like maybe you are in charge of AR, that's accounts receivables, or you're in charge of AP as an analyst, that's accounts payables, or some kind of revenue or cost accountant. Several roles are available to you, or even just being a financial analyst who kind of comes in at the end when the AP guy has reported, the AR guy has reported, and kind of harmonizes it, analyzes it, and then determines which customers are owing us for the longest and blah blah blah, and prepares reports for management. I mean, your job is needed because management needs that information. Yeah, so that means that you can apply to the industry roles and seek graduate roles available for accountants, right? Yeah. And another role that is available for accountants would be not-for-profit. So yeah, so I don't want to refer to not-for-profits as industry because they are kind of different. They are similar to government, right? So a not-for-profit or an NGO, that's a non-governmental organization, more or less is set up for a purpose, right? Oh, okay, some people in, for instance, Nigeria need some kind of relief aid, and people all over the world donate to a charity. Somebody has to account for that. So yeah, so most times their audits are referred to as value for money audits, and the nature of their accounting more or less is more around achieving the value for which the money was, you know, collected in the first place. So yeah, somebody needs to account for that. Yeah, same thing, fund revenue, somebody needs to account for all the expenses relating to the charities, all the, you know, disbursement relating to actually doing what the purpose of the charity is about. So yeah, so that's something that is very interesting work as well. I have a couple of friends who are accountants for charities or auditors for charities, right? So yeah, so that's something available to you. It's not as publicized, I guess, when it comes to like jobs available to accountants, but it's very much available to you. you and it's something you can consider, especially if you want to do work that is like, what's the word I would use, something that has like kind of meaningful use, some kind of intrinsic benefit, like you want to be, you know, sleep at night knowing that the work I did today, somebody in being blessed by it. I mean, that's like a good reason to look at not-for-profit organizations. So yeah guys, I tried not to make this video long because I want it to be as quick as possible. Quick tips, quick career choices available to you as an accounting grad. Please let me know in the comments if you have questions. I want to provide support to you guys because I realize that I have a lot of experience that I've not really tapped when it comes to, like, you know, really guiding graduates around making career choices. So yeah, so you let me know what you think of all these career choices that I've made available. What are your best bets? What would you likely advise someone who is like new to accounting and is like, I'm not sure where to start? Some people say just go to the big four and just, you know, yeah, big four. I know the emphasis on the big four is always like really high. They have that flex, I don't know, big four flex. Yeah, but of course several other options available to you: the university, not-for-profit, you know, smaller sized consulting firms, internal audits, that's also available to you, FP&A roles within, like, you know, actual industry companies. Several roles are available to you guys. So yeah, do let me know if you enjoyed my content today. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you and bye.